Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back. I didn't get as far as I would have liked with this book. I did get the paper inserted in the pockets on the sides, and I made some tags for the top here, and I've just attached lace to the top of each one. They're coffee dyed on the back, so for journaling. And where did that come out of? Right here. And then I went through and just put a little piece of ribbon on all the paper clips that are holding our flap journal flips, whatever you want to call them, and kind of space them out a little bit so that they look kind of cool on the side of the book, not all bunched up in one place. So and then I did stagger these so that we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so that they spread out. I weighed this book, and it's already 16 ounces. So, and I'm noticing that as I stuff it, it is starting to, like this piece here, you can see I didn't glue so close to the edge. So I do need a little room in the spine for this. But I thought we'd go ahead and work on the cover today. The way I measured the spine, and I think I said this before, but I said the measurements wrong, so I'm going to repeat this. I took a 9 by 12 envelope and added, a piece to the end, and, overlapped the flaps, and then trimmed it off to where I needed it. And the way I determined what I needed was, these pages are 6 inches across, double S, no T. So I did 6 1/4 here, and then I gave myself about a 3/4 inch spine room, and then scored another 6 1/4. So it comes out about 13 and 5/16 if you want the exact measurement. So that is what I've done. Now I went through and kind of rubbed out those 2 score lines because I decided I just wanted to do the 1 1/2. So on this side, I have run a piece of the micropore tape. Micropore is a brand name for 3M paper tape that they use, medical tape. Okay, it's not the fabric kind, it's paper, and it works perfectly for this. And so then once I did that, I went into the digitals here for our Foxglove, and I took one of the background pages and I enlarged the left side, saved it, and then enlarged the right side and saved it. You can do that. I did it in Photoshop, but you can do it in probably any kind of graphics program. You pull in the graphic and you crop it down. I cropped down 8 1/2 by 11 on the left side, and then saved it, and then did an undo so that it reverses everything I did, and then I did it from this side, saved it, and then, and don't do save, do a save as, and then undid it. So it doesn't do anything to the original file. Everything is still intact. The only difference is it's 2 pieces. So, and I don't know if you can see it on this side, but it makes an overlap of about 2 5/8. And all I've done is glued these together, lining up the design. I think I did a pretty good job trying to make sure that all my lines and everything were in the right place. I did that with a glue stick. because I'm going to be using the Beacon 3-in-1 to attach it to the envelope. And I scored on the left a 1/2 inch and on the bottom 1 inch because I'm going to be wrapping around on this side. I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes. But like that, I'll be wrapping around. I did print this out on 40-pound presentation paper. It feels almost like cardstock because I buy cardstock that's 65-pound and 110-pound. Now, of course, I'm using American measurements. I don't know what the equivalents are. I'd have to Google it, but I'm hoping this wraps around okay because I ran out of 28-pound paper, and that's what I normally use. It works perfectly, but Walmart hasn't restocked it, and I had 40 or 20, and I didn't want to use 20 because it's so thin, and so that's why I have the 40. So basically, I just want to glue this down. So that's the first step. I probably should have filled up my glue bottle. It makes my life easier when the glue bottle is full. I don't have to wait so long for that bubble to get back up to the top. Okay. I want to smooth out these little bubble things here because I don't want those to show through as texture on the cover. Okay. So, and the scoring on the bottom piece, on the left and the bottom, is just to help me line this up straight. So we'll get that in there, line that up, and that will, yeah. Alright, so let's roll it out. If you roll it out now while it's wet. Roll it on this side, just so that I don't have, you know, bumpy glue on the cover. And I will Mod Podge this so it will be protected. Alright, so I'm going to put my lid on the glue and get my bone folder. I want to come along here that'll just help me fold over those edges a little bit. I am going to trim out the corners. Okay. Now this is a thin envelope, so I don't need to go too, I don't have to leave too much, but I want to leave at least, you know, the width of the envelope, the thickness of the envelope. So, and here, and I have my envelope a little bit crooked, but it's better than if I had tried to wing it. Okay, so let's fold these edges. I like to do this in advance, try and show everything where I want it to go. And see, just going down the side with this bone folder, not, you know, not sharply. You don't want to make a hole in it. It's a little thick there on that overlap, so I just want to gently pull that out. And I'm going to use my bone folder to coax it especially right here. I'm going to have to teach it about that middle fold again because I had so many there. All right, and we will take this. There again, if the glue bottle's full, I don't have to wait so long. I'm going to come right along the edge here. And I'm thinking because of the, I have at least a ½ inch all the way around, I shouldn't have to add any paper to this because the envelope should cover it completely with maybe, an 1/8 inch on the edge here. So, okay, do 2 sides first, either top and bottom or side to side, it doesn't matter, but I like to do across and then the other 2. I'm going to go down the edge. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry before I try to fold it. And so what I'm going to do now is Mod Podge it. So I've got, this is a, my mother-in-law bought me these. It's a set of 3. The Authentic Cooking Barbecue, yeah. I thought it said cooking, but it looks like coquina. Anyway, barbecue. Non-stick mats, and yeah, it is Cookina. But anyway, it's a non-stick cooking mat, and it works perfectly because the glue, dry glue, everything comes right off of this. So let's go ahead and Mod Podge this while we're waiting for that other glue to dry, and we will take care of 2 things at once. Okay, let me put my stapler up there. And oh, this is going to be a beautiful cover. I tried to pick my favorite page, and with these papers, that's hard to do. So I picked pink. Big surprise there. All right, I'm just going to pour some of this out. Probably got way too much, but we'll find out. I use the matte Mod Podge for this. It gives it a little bit of a sheen, but not, not a lot. Yeah, I got way too much. And I just pick up what is left and wipe it right back into the container and use it next time. I don't have ink issues with ink running or anything like that, so luckily I use a HP OfficeJet Pro printer with instant ink capabilities. I saw somebody had written that you only had to have Wi-Fi to use instant ink, and that's not the case, at least not in my case, because my last printer, well, I've had instant ink for the last couple of printers, but the one before the last one was internet capable, but because we've had that for years, but it was not instant ink compatible, and that's why I replaced my printer. So, however, you can look it up on their website. It tells which printers are compatible, and I couldn't do this without the instant ink because I just go through too many cartridges. Okay, I always wipe off with a wet baby wipe the rim and the lid, and I don't have any issues opening the jars. Okay, so there we have that. I'm going to wipe up a little bit of this around here, but I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll be back and attach it. Okay, so in the meantime, while we're waiting for the cover to dry, I thought we'd do one of these flip over little inserts. I originally saw this on A Trace of Sparkle. I will leave her link below. And I believe she said she saw it on Lori, Girl on a Ridge. So I've just got one piece of coffee dyed paper, and I've cut this down to 3 by 6, and I've cut this piece down to, you need 2 of these, 1.5 by 3, so I've already folded one into the envelope. But the way we do this is we're just going to have an offset fold here, so I'll come up to about 2.5. I think I left about an inch on that, so let's come down to an inch. There we go. So that is 2.5. So you could score this and make life a lot easier. So, okay. And then I want to take a piece of lace. I have this, I still have a little bit left of this, and I think I've got another roll. Oh my goodness. Down below, I have a bunch of baskets of lace under my desk. So I'm going to run that across here. These are really cute. You just flip them over the top of a page, or slip them into, you know, hang them over the front of a pocket or something like that. And I'm kind of lining up that bottom piece with the bottom of the paper, but not too worried. It's going to be flipped over. It's not going to be in front of that piece of paper. Okay, so this envelope it's a little faux envelope, and I'm just going to glue that to the middle, and I'll show you how to make one real quick. I just put this about in the middle and tweak it a little bit to the right or left, matters not. Okay, so the way I do this is a 1.5 by 3. I'm going to kind of fold that just enough to get a little pinch in the top so I know where to fold. I'm going to put my nail there and fold a point. Put this one, bring that down as well to a point. You can butt them right up against each other, but you don't have to. I am going to tack those down. This keeps everything from flopping all over. And then I'm going to fold this down. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this one and tuck it right up under this and pinch it down. And then I'll tack this piece down. Now you could leave this open, I guess, if you wanted to use it for an extra journal spot, but it would be kind of hard since they're stacked. So let's put some glue on the back of this envelope. And I'm going to set this one straight, about 1/4 inch top and bottom. And I didn't ink any of this, so, you know, feel free feel free to not ink anything. If these are inked around, they give a little bit better definition. But, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. I have these little stamps that came with the Foxglove collection. So let's see, which one do I want to use? I think I want to use the bumblebee. Now, I cut these out with my decorative scissors. I hardly ever use those since, you know, 1999. But I use them for these stamps and things. So I'm just going to ink. You can see that I didn't cut them out perfect because it had a different edge than my scissors, but ink will cover that up and it won't even matter. You can see a little bit, but I'll go around it again and it won't show. You know it's there. You know, I think I keep coming back to this one because of the clock. I just love the clock. I don't know why. I almost used that one for the cover, but I think I used that before. Well, that clock is in the one or more of the collage kits. So I've used the clock a lot. So I thought I would wait. Use a different page this time for the cover. And I used the clock one for one of the tall journal cards. Now I'm just going to glue this on a little offset there, like that. You could make these envelopes a little bit smaller if you wanted. I used 1.5 because that's the strip that I cut off, but you could use a 1-inch strip and they'd be quite a bit smaller. I do kind of want to go around the edges here. The bottom one is inked, but the top one not so much, and that's okay. Alright, so what I'm missing is a bow. Now I've used my tiny bow maker to make this bow because I can't tie a bow to save my life. I'm going to glue that right here. And I'm gluing the knot down. I might put a little bit just to tack that down a little bit. You know, I'm not squeezing the bottle, I'm just using what was on the tip. And there we go. So now I have 2 flip over tags, and the way those will be attached is just with the paper clip over the top. Or if there's a pocket, you could slide this piece into the pocket and it would hang over. So I usually use them as a top flip over, but you know, there's lots of ways you can use these, but I think they turn out so great. This would be an awesome make-ahead project because it's neutral. So with your pieces parts that you have left over from various kits, I have made this piece. This was a coffee dyed page, and the closer I look, I'm thinking it might have been like a background page from something, because it's got a little bit of a pattern on it, but I have no idea where it came from. It is coffee dyed on this side. I think the whole thing was coffee dyed, but you could use, like I said, I've used cut-offs from other kits to make these, so all kinds of things. But this would be a great make-ahead. You could make a ton of these. It doesn't take hardly any time at all. You assembly line it, cut out all your little stamps and make a bunch of little tiny envelopes, and then take your 3x6s. This would work with a tag. You could fold a tag, I left about 1 inch from the bottom, so it wouldn't really matter. They don't all have to be this size either, so you could use any of your scraps. It'd be a great, great, great busy day. Get ahead. Somebody had asked me about making neutral. I don't remember who it was, but anyway. All right, so let's get back to our cover. So And I think I told you this book weighs like a pound already. So I'm interested to see. So I've got this envelope. We've just done the paper wrap around, and I use the Mod Podge. It's not completely dry, but it's mostly dry, and I've tried to kind of fold it here a little bit. You know what, I'm going to use my brayer because the glue is not completely cured. I mean, I haven't let it sit overnight. It's only been about an hour. It's not tacky, but it's, I don't know. I don't want to use the bone folder and risk ripping into the glue or the paper. It's very bulky on the bottom here, where the paper, because I overlapped the paper, and it, like I said, it was 40-pound paper. So I'm just gonna roll that real good, flip it over, roll it real good, and yeah, so that is how we're gonna do that. Now I'm going to take this, let's see if I've got things. I don't have anything attached to this side, and I don't have anything attached to this side, so I am going to glue this on 1/8 of an inch from, and this would have been easier to do before I filled all the pockets, but I'm going to do about 1/8 of an inch. And then I will do this one the same way, and then that will, let's just do it. Let's just do it and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. So let's just do it and see what happens. I'm a little lost here. Let's make sure this is the right way around. Yeah. I'm just looking at the words upside down here, and it threw me off, so, and down here. So, I guess I'm just going to throw the glue on here. I'm going to come, I guess I'm going to come right up to about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of this book. We'll see here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it down there again, about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to turn it around this way because I want it to be right along that edge there. I am going to go ahead and fold this around, I guess. Make sure that gets good and attached. Yeah, see, it already slid. It already slid. Wish me luck, guys. We'll see how this goes. I'm just going to set it like this. I'm going to let it sit for maybe 15-20 minutes, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, so just quickly, I opened up the book so it's laying flat so that this part, the glue will stay attached. And I'm just going to keep holding this down for a few, and we'll be back. Okay, it's been about a half an hour, so let's see where this goes. I don't know. We'll learn together. And you know what? In the end, it usually comes together regardless, so I guess we'll... Here's the thing. Worst case scenario, I keep this journal for myself and I just stuff it with more stuff. Stuff it with more stuff. But I will, if I attempt to do this again, use the foam tape for the edge to space it out a little bit. I'm going to get some clips here to help me hold things in place. So let's do this. I'm sorry you guys can't probably see very well, but I want to get that about 1/8 of an inch, and then actually I'm going to have to stand this side up because I don't want to make sure that everything stays, and I'm not putting glue on the spine area, of course. One more here. And just attaching that. See what happens. But if I try to close this right now, it's going to slide, and I want that to stay, maybe you can see it better at this angle, with 1/8 of an inch before the pocket. So, alright, I'm going to let this sit for another 20 minutes or so. I'm back again. Okay, so here's what I've come up with. You know how originally I had a spine on this journal, and then when I put this in, it kind of poked out, and so I decided to go ahead and just score there, like we usually do our other journals. The problem is, now I glued this 1/8 of an inch away, and this one 1/8 of an inch away. So I figured that would leave me some room in the spine, but when I try to open it, this is as far as it opens. If I push down flat, it's going to, well, you can see it's kind of relaxing a little bit, but I don't want it to pull away these pages or rip them. So I thought, okay, well then let's flatten this back. So I brought this in flat again, and when I opened it, same problem. But I started noticing as it would relax that this kind of would go in a little bit. Okay, so I came back and I pushed this in. Instead of having that middle one on the out, you know, poking out, I'm bending it in. And what that's doing is giving me more room to open the journal. I don't know why. I told you we just have to play with it to make it work. But now I can open it flat, and this goes inside here like that, okay, into that space. So I think we made it work. I'm not particularly fond of the way this looks, the way it is, so I'll probably cover this with a piece of lace here. I don't know if I wrap around, I don't think that'll matter, because basically it just needs to go in to give that the room to open the pages, and they do lay mostly flat now. So I think we figured it out, guys. The back page is still, I think, just needs to be played with a little bit, kind of curved in a little bit here on this edge. Maybe it needed that separate spine gap that we usually have in a hardcover book. This may work better with a hardcover binding, but for now I think we're making it work, and I think it'll be okay. So there it is. That's the cover. If I had known that, in the beginning, it wouldn't be all squished and squashed and all of that nonsense. And if I'd have had the right kind of paper, it wouldn't have as much bulk here, so it would give me a little bit more flexibility. But it is a nice sturdy cover, and like I said, I think I'll just cover this with lace when everything's said and done. I'll probably put a focal point or something on here. I'm not sure about the closure. Doesn't really need a closure because it lays nice and flat. So, but we will make, we've got a few things to tuck in there, so we may need a closure by the time everything's said and done. So next time we'll be back with some of the ephemera, and because I haven't even started on that. So far I've just been working, other than decorating the pages, putting the paper clips, we've got the top cards, and I've got a couple of these flips. I still have my whole list of goodies here. So yeah, we may have to add a binding, but we'll see. I did get some new buttons that are real pretty that might be fun to add with a seam binding closure. So something that comes off so that when the book is laying flat, you don't have to worry about the ties. And yeah, so I hope that wasn't too chaotic for you guys. I know it was stop, start, wait for the glue to dry, but I didn't want the papers to slide, and with the Mod Podge, of course, you have to let that dry. Otherwise it will stick to the surface, and I got a little bit of glue right there, but yeah, it's real pretty, and like I said before, you can't go wrong with these papers. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for bearing with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.